Hello, this is Lucas Offenkamp. I'm here with Mutzie. He's been good enough to give us some of his time. He is going to be our comedian and evening entertainment at North Dakota Men's Retreat just a week from now here at Lakewood Park Bible Camp, February 18 and 19. And Mutzie, it's good to have you with us. And I guess I want to begin with one question. What do you think of technology, and is Zoom connected to the mark of the beast?
Well, we should probably tell him. It took me probably 20 minutes to get hooked up to Zoom. I got a MacBook. I don't even know how to use it. There's probably so many things I could do on my computer that I don't know. I got a phone that I use for Facebook and for TikTok and to find out football scores. And that's all I know. But I can tell you that Zoom is definitely connected to the mark of the beast because I could, for the life of me, find out how to get on Zoom to even talk to you today.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw on
60.
Facebook. I saw on Facebook that you're a Saints fan. There's been some shakeup there. Drew Brees is gone. Sean Payton is gone. Where are you guys headed? What's your next season looking like?
We're in trouble, man. We're going straight down. Seriously, we're in big trouble. I'm a huge football fan, but I also keep it real. The truth is that we're going to have to be in a rebuilding mode, and we were only good when Sean Payton and Drew Brees was there. All the years before that, we were terrible, and we don't have a quarterback. We don't have a coach. Our number one receiver is Michael Thomas. He's going to be gone, so we don't have a number one receiver, and our salary cap is one of the worst in the league. So what that means is that we don't even have money to get good players. So we're going to be bad for a while. North Dakota State will be able to whoop us next year. I
No, I
guarantee
don't.
it, brother.
I wouldn't doubt that. But so your name is Mutzi. Is that a given name? Is that your birth name, or is that a stage name?
No, it's a nickname. It's a nickname I've had since I was born. My real name is Daniel.
Okay.
But check this out. This is a very interesting story. When I was born, my grandparents had a maid. So my parents brought me to the maid's house. I mean, to my grandparents' house to show me to them. And when the maid saw me, she said, "Oh, look, he looks like a little Mutzie,"
Okay.
and it just stuck, right? So my mom made a spelling for it. And so my whole life, as I was growing up, anytime my mom or my dad would hear somebody with an accent, they would ask them if Mutzi meant anything in their language. And they never met anybody that said, "Yes, I know what it means." Well, I worked 6 years for Carnival Cruise Lines. And one time I was on a Carnival cruise ship and there was a German nurse and somebody called my name and he said, "Who's Mutzi?" I said, "I'm Mutzi." He goes, "Do you know what it means?" I go, "I don't." He said, "It's slang in German. It means little sweetheart."
Oh no.
Yeah. And so look, so my mom died in 1990. My dad died in 2000. They never knew what it meant. They
Oh
died before I could tell them what it meant.
yeah.
But think about it, like a little infant, like I don't look like a little sweetheart now. I'm not blind. I can see myself right here in this Zoom right here. I know what I look like. And so, but as a little infant, all little infants look like little sweethearts. So apparently that maid was either, spent time in Germany or she spoke German or maybe she was in the military, but
Mhm.
that's what it is. And so I've been called that since day one. My mom just made up a spelling for it and it stuck.
That's funny. Kind of reminds me of the Far Side cartoon where an elderly Lone Ranger is sitting in a nursing home, and he's got a book out, and it says English Apache dictionary, and he's looking up the word kimosabi because that's what Tonto always called him, and he looks it up, and it said kimosabi, old Apache term for a horse's rear end. So it could be worse. Little sweetheart's not too bad. Um, so you were with us 3 years ago at Men's Retreat, and you always carried a flashlight with you. Tell me about that. How did a flashlight become part of your shtick?
Well, the truth is, I was a police officer. I was a cop for 10 years. So that's a police flashlight is what that is. It's called a Stinger. It's an LED rechargeable flashlight. It's very bright. And so I do a lot of improvisation on stage. I do a lot of interaction with the audience. I like to speak to the audience and I talk to them and I try and make it funny without crossing the line. Like I'm not like Don Rickles. I don't insult people. I have fun with people. I don't make fun of people. And so the flashlight lets me see who I'm talking to and it also lets the rest of the audience see who I'm talking to. See? And so that's how that came about. And the way that I started doing improv like that is when I very first started 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, I was a house MC at 3 different casinos along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I did 6 shows a week for 5 years in a row. And most of the people that came to the shows, they were local. So I couldn't just go up and do the same 15 minutes of jokes every single week. So I had to start just playing around. And so I developed that. I would ask questions and try and make fun with it, make something funny with it. And so I developed that. And so I learned, I discovered that I like doing that a lot better than doing like joke number 1, joke number 2, joke number 3, joke number 4. It makes it fun for me. It includes the audience, and it makes every show that I do different.
Sure.
Because every audience is different and every response is different. So like I said, I don't make fun of people. I would never do that, but I have fun with them.
That's great. That's great. Well, that's a good thing, because I was hoping we weren't going to get the exact same jokes as 3 years ago. So
no, you won't. Plus, we got a new president, so I'm sure there'll be.
There's always new material. Every 4 years, then you get new material. So you say you have interactions with the crowd. You like to interact with them. Where would you say you get most of your material? Is it observation, life experience, politics? Where does most of it come from?
It's all of that, except for I really don't do a whole lot of politics jokes, because I found that in America, you will alienate half of the audience. You know what I mean? No matter where you go, you think you might be in a red state and they got, you're going to alienate some of the people. And then the way that it is in America today, it seems to be that if you and I aren't on the same side politically, we can't like each other.
Yeah.
It seems to be that way, which is terrible. You know what I mean? But just life experiences. Like I have my core jokes. Like I look at my show like a totem pole. Like this is my totem pole. I start out with a couple jokes that I do, and then I start weaving in and out, just playing with the audience. And as long as that keeps working, I'll keep doing that all the way up to the end of my show. If I start playing with the audience and for whatever reason they're not feeling that or whatever, I'll just jump back in and start doing more jokes. And then later on, I'll play around with the audience a little more. Like I do have it planned out in my head as far as like an overall what's going to happen. But most of the time when I go on stage, I don't have any idea because I don't talk to the people beforehand. I don't ask them where they're from, what's their name. I let it happen live. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't mean it in a bragging way, but I've always been good at, being quick, you know what I mean? Like having quick response and stuff. And so that's what I did. It's a double-edged sword. It got me in trouble in school, but I can think quick on my feet. So that's what I try and do. I just make conversation, try to make it funny and move on. And, because I do have that flashlight,
Yeah.
I can find me some people, buddy.
Well, we got some funny looking guys up here, so you should have some pretty good material.
I never make fun of people's appearance, brother. I mean, look at me. Who am I going to make fun of their appearance? You know what I'm saying? But if you wear a lime green polka dotted leisure suit, I'm going to point that out. You know what I mean?
So when did you realize that you had the ability to make people laugh?
Well, you know what? I play music. I play drums. And so my whole life, I've been a class clown. In 1984, I moved to Los Angeles with a band from New Orleans, trying to get a record deal. I had a telemarketing job during the daytime from 6 in the morning to 12 noon, calling offices, selling office supplies. Well, I'd be able to call home for free. So all my buddies would say, Mutzie, you know what? You always been such a knucklehead. You should try doing some comedy, man. Do some stand-up comedy. So I went out there. I went out to the Comedy Store, which is the most famous comedy club in America, in the world, really. And I did open mic where they give you 3 minutes, and I did that, and I got some laughs. And I mean, I was at that point, I was kind of addicted, you know what I mean? And then 6 months later, I got into a national contest and I came in second place. So that lit my fire that I could do it. And so that's how it started. I've just always been a class clown. My mama was like that. My mom never did stand up, but she was really funny, just outgoing, friendly, you know what I mean? Not afraid to talk to anybody about anything. And that's part of what it takes.
My brothers dream of being comedians, and the problem is that I'm actually the funniest one of the three of us. So maybe give some professional advice here. What is a key to comedy that can hold the attention of an audience?
Confidence. You have to have confidence. You have to be, it's just like if you've ever worked in sales before, like if you're a car salesman, which I did that before too. But if you walk up to a customer and you don't have confidence in what you're selling, they're not going to buy it. You know what I mean? If you think it's funny, then it's probably going to be funny. They might not have the same sense of humor as you, but if you have an audience of 300 people, and if you think it's funny, probably at least 100 people are going to agree with you and think that it's funny, but you have to sell it. You know what I mean? And when you, as a comic, when you go on stage, they're buying you. That's what they're buying. And you got to be able to be good at painting word pictures, because if they don't understand what you're saying, if they can't picture what you're talking about, they can't picture it, so it doesn't make sense to them, so it won't be funny no matter what it is. That's why a lot of guys, like how Howie Mandel used to be, how he used to make just crazy faces and stuff, like Jim Carrey. It's not even what they say, it's the faces they make when they say it. Deaf people laugh at them because it's not the word, it's their facial expressions. And Jerry Lewis, you know, it's all the wackiness. And I'm not saying that's what you have to do. That's just part of it. But you have to be confident. You have to, and as you do shows, you get more confident because you get laughs. So like, let's just say you have 100 jokes that you do on stage and you're honest with yourself and you look at those jokes, you could look at them and go, this joke right here, this one always gets a huge laugh. This one gets a medium laugh, sometimes big. This one doesn't work sometimes. This one hardly ever works. You can do that. So eventually over time, you'll have these jokes that get the big laughs and you keep those in. And then the ones that don't really get them, you move those out and you try to place them with stuff to move up. And then before you know it, you got confidence. For example, I'll give you an example. Some people say that they're stage fright, right? They're afraid to speak in front of people. I go, no, you're not. You're just afraid of what you have to say. You can't think of anybody that if I asked you, if I said, hey, buddy, all I need you to do is walk up on a stage and say your name and count to 10 and then walk off. Everybody would be willing to do that because you know your name and you could count to 10. But if I say, look, I want you to go up there, say your name, and then I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm not going to tell you even what they're about, you're going to be nervous about that. You're going to say, I don't know if I want to do that, man, because if I get the questions wrong, I'm going to look silly and I don't want to take that chance. That's what they're afraid of. So once you do shows, more and more and more, you get confident because you know which ones are going to work. Hopefully, you know what I mean? There's some times where you have something that you go, I know I'm going to get a big laugh with this. And sometimes you don't get a big laugh because maybe you missed a couple words. You went right through it too fast. Maybe you didn't paint that picture clear enough for them and they missed the whole thing. But that's what it takes. It takes confidence, number one, and then just repetitiveness. That's the main thing I tell all young comics. You have to get on stage. You could sit home writing jokes 10 hours a day. You got to get up on that stage in front of people and tell those jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mutzie, for your time. We're looking forward to having you back with us. North Dakota Men's Retreat, February 18 and 19 at Lakewood Park Bible Camp. Guys, you can visit ndmen.org/events for more details. And we hope to see you here. And we're excited to have Mutzie with us. But thank you, Daniel, Mutzie, for your time. And what was it? Little sweetheart. Thank you, little sweetheart, for your time.
Well, thank you, big sweetheart. Let me tell you something, buddy. I'm so ready for this show, man. I'm fired up. I had so much fun with you guys last time, and I can't wait because I know y'all up there with y'all shotguns, y'all camouflage, y'all got y'all deer antlers on the front of y'all pickup trucks. Ready to go, brother.
That's us.
I'm ready for them good old boys up there, man. I might even go moose hunting when I'm there.
That's right. That's exactly who we are. So it's great. Good talking to you, and look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I got one question for you.
Yeah.
How do I turn off this Zoom?
Well, I'll end it for you, okay?
Hey, thank you, brother. God bless you, man.
Yeah, we'll see you.